experience, and we want to help you do your job better based on the supply chain needs that you have. So we haven't designed, to answer your question a little more specifically, Lily, we haven't actually designed any trainings for program people now. We're kind of operating on a demand basis. So we're hoping that WCA or LMP or Lawson would come to us and say, we've noticed that we need help on X, and we would be more than happy to design a program for you. Any other questions that you guys have, or any innovations that you would like to see from the procurement and logistics department?
I just had a question. Sarah and I have talked before about improving MIS and the sort of information that comes into the organization.
Improving what?
MIS, Management Information Systems, and just improving them for the organization overall. Did that come up at all in your trainings with people, and the sharing of data, the sharing of information across platforms with headquarters? Has that been a part of this?
Yes. In fact, the reason that I was so happy that you and I started having that conversation was because that's been identified as a need, both from a donor pressure side of thing. For instance, we have a country right now that's having a huge donor issue because their indicator is, we will distribute this many products by this date. And in the past, just the M&E data that we've provided, whether it's a MAP survey, something like that, has sufficed. But now the donor wants to know, okay, well, list me the sales points and tell me what they ordered, tell me what they sold. We don't collect that information. And so now we're trying to convince a donor to accept information that does not suffice. And then you look back at the end of the day and you think, well, why don't we know what our sales points are? Why don't we know what they've demanded from us and our wholesalers? That's probably an issue, a larger issue than just this particular country and particular donor. So I've had many requests, primarily from Global Fund countries, but the demand is growing. Chris Guy can speak to that. In Madagascar, USAID is starting to ask for that kind of data as well. And it embarrassingly takes us a little off guard. So we're hoping that through this MIS, we'll start being able to help countries be able to answer those questions immediately and efficiently.
Are you going to train RDs? No, because Kim brings up a good question. I mean, part of the reason, particularly in loss and life countries, we usually have one warehouse manager managing a national program, and then on top of his everyday duties, we expect, okay, now we want you to track all of your sales to this province and that province, and then your customer profiles on top of that.
And so in addition, we're not going to give you any sort of authority over anything.
Or additional staff, and I think it's just, sometimes it's just making those aware, and maybe they already are aware. I don't know if that's any plan.
Yeah, this is such a good question, and I invite people's advice on how to reach RDs. It's something that we've struggled with historically. Supply chain has not been a hot topic. It's not interesting to people, even though it is the foundation of everything we do at PSI. It is not what people want to talk about. And interestingly, they are talking about it, they just don't know they're talking about it, and they're not giving it the credence it deserves in the conversation they're having. So we've been doing a lot of ground roots up, kind of hoping that unlike, the Republican government, we don't really believe in the trickle-down effect. So we were focusing more on the grassroots effect. But I'm sure Republicans and Lily have a good point that at some point we have to start trickling down. But we've oftentimes hit a wall there. I don't want to come off as complaining, but the procurement department doesn't have a lot of funding for things like retreats. We depend a lot on the region paying our way. But one thing we'd really like to get into is going to regional retreats and giving trainings to the RDs and to the CRs on the supply chain needs that we have that are being met and where the gaps are.